Well, I can't believe it's Christmas Eve already. I really don't know what's happened to November and December. It's been so busy here. I've been quite unwell, and also I've had more problems with my house leaking water everywhere, which is very, very annoying when we thought the repairs were all completed. So I've spent a lot of time stress doodling. I doodle on a daily basis anyway. I'm an absolute compulsive doodler. I hate to see a blank sheet of paper. The thing I doodle most often is probably circle shapes, because I find circles, they don't have to be neat circles, they're just like rough circle bubble shapes. I find that they're very repetitive, it's very easy just to doodle them. I don't plan what I'm doodling, it just happens, and I just like to do patterns with my doodles. I may use the patterns in a design at a later date, I may never use them. It's just a form of relaxation, and I can highly recommend that you should find a shape that you enjoy drawing, whether it's a spiral, triangle, a square or a circle, a wavy line, whatever you feel happy with and you find easy to do. So if you spend 10-15 minutes, you can get totally involved in your doodling, and it takes your mind off the other worries that you have. If I'm out and about, I will always have my little pocket sketchbook and a biro with me. I find this is really good if you're at the dentist or the doctor's and you're feeling a bit anxious, you can just doodle away. If you're worried about people asking you what you're doing, you can avoid eye contact if you're an anxious person and you don't want to have a conversation. Hopefully most people will respect that and not try and ask you questions. Occasionally you'll get someone who loves art and they might want to talk to you, and I think sometimes that is really good. It might push you out of your comfort zone, but you may learn something new, and I think it's really nice. Children are often fascinated. With adults I say, oh, I'm feeling quite anxious, so I use doodling as a way of sort of taking my mind off things. If it's a child, I will just simply tell them I enjoy doodling patterns. I just like patterns and keep it very simple. Quite often a child will then go to their parent and say, can I have some paper and doodle? And I think that's really lovely. And sometimes, you know, you'll see a child and they will be happily drawing away, and you just hope that they will have a lifetime of loving art as well. So don't feel bad. Your art is your own. You shouldn't feel guilty about drawing. You shouldn't feel guilty that you think you're not creating a masterpiece. You're never wasting paper. The paper can be used on the back of the paper. You can experiment enlarge on the design later. If I'm at home and I'm on the phone and I'm on a long sort of on hold, I'll be filling a piece of paper like that, just covered with thick dark lines. Sometimes I will do something silly like my little flower pot man. He always makes me laugh. There he is, always doing silly things, my flower pot man. And I would always recommend, before you start to do a main picture, even if you're not feeling stressed, that you'd always practice on a little piece of paper with your colours and your pens, your lines, the textures, because if you're feeling stressed, you don't want to suddenly go into doing your main picture with very heavy lines, and you don't realise always, but the stress is coming out through your pen or your pencil. So if you're trying to do a delicate picture and you're feeling stressed, that is going to naturally come out much harsher than you want it to. So have a good doodle first before you start your picture. If I'm feeling a bit more relaxed, I might go on to my bob picture. This needs a lot of work. I don't think I'm particularly good at doing people. The face shape needs a lot of work here, but what I do love is doing dreadlocks. Absolutely love them. Again, it's very repetitive. I could probably only do half a dreadlock in one go because it does tend to give me cramp in my hand quite badly. And this is the second time I've done this picture. I'm trying to improve on the first one, and you can see down here these dreadlocks need a lot of work, whereas up here they are more finished. I think what is really lovely about doing dreadlocks is it's repetitive, so you just instinctively know what you're doing. So once you've started, you just get into a little routine. So there's all sorts of ways of using art for stress. It can really cheer you up that you have done something creative. And even if you're just doing 5-10 minutes, and Christmas can be a really stressful time, so don't feel guilty about taking a few minutes out of your day just to spend a few minutes just doodling. And if you celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a lovely time. If you don't celebrate Christmas, just spend time with your family and friends and enjoy some creative time if you can.